All right, hello, welcome. This lesson is going to be going over conditional statements. Specifically, we're going to talk about multiple conditionals, so doing like and or conditionals. And to do this, we are going to fill in a note sheet together. So you'll need to find this multiple conditions.java. Schoology is going to look different than what you see right now because I'm just kind of building everything right now. But this file, multiple conditions.java, should be right next to the video that you are currently watching. So just find this file, all right, and then we're going to download it and get it into Eclipse, right? So the idea being, I would like you to try some of this on your own and then kind of use this video as a guide to check your work. All right, so again, I think it's really important to be trying stuff instead of just watching me do it. Okay, so I'm going to download this file. All right, it's right here. You can open it. So you can either open it, copy and paste the code, or if you want to drag the file right into Eclipse, you can do it that way, right? So the only thing is don't do file, open file. That's going to end badly for you. So I'm just probably going to drag it in. So I'm going to go to my downloads here. Okay, and so in my downloads, I find this multiple conditions. I'm just going to drag it right here into year 4. All right, so drag it and drop it right in there. All right, for you, Benny, in your programs package. All right, so I'm going to open it up. All right, and I'm going to double click on it to make it big. It looks like I might have to make the package match. So I just need to, you can either just, probably the easiest thing is click right here and it'll give you like a option to add the package declaration, or you can type out package and then the name of whatever your package is. Okay, so now it should be okay. All right, and basically we are going to do what it says here, like follow these comments. All right, and we're going to build some conditional statements. Right, so each one of these is its own sort of conditional statement. All right, so our first one is to check that the age is between 16 and 21 inclusive. All right, and so here we have our age variable, and we want to see is that between 16 and 21. Okay, so if you want a hint on this first one, you can watch this. Otherwise, if you feel like you can do it, you can just start doing these, right? Honestly, you could just start doing these and then watch the video to check. But if you need help with this first one, so to be between 16 and 21, this is going to be an and, because we have to be bigger than 16 and less than 21. So age is greater than or equal to 16, and so ampersand is and, age is less than or equal to 21. Okay, and then I'll have an open and close curly brace. Okay, so anytime the age falls between those two inclusive, it would run this if. Age is greater than age is 15 that age is 15 or greater than 30. So in this one is a little weird, but we can be exactly 15 or greater than 30. So if age equals 15 or age is greater than or equal to 30. Okay, so it could be either thing. You could be exactly 15 or greater than or equal to 30. All right, now we can be either 12, 15, or 18. Okay, and again, I would pause this video and see if you can, just do this on your own before continuing. All right, so we can be any of these things. So we could say is age equal to 12 or age equal 15 or age equal 18. Okay, and if it's any of those things, then we will run the condition. Okay, and notice these don't have any else's on them. We could put else's, but it doesn't say that in the directions. So these are just regular ifs, where the code will either run or it won't, depending on if the condition is met. Right, and the way we've set up, these are 3 separate things that could possibly run if the condition's met. Okay, so fishing. I like to fish a lot, and they have a lot of like weird rules. So sometimes like a fish might have to be between 14 and 18 inches. So see if you can do the right conditional here. Okay, so this is going to be an and because we have to be greater than or equal to 14 and less than or equal to 18. So we're going to say if our variable fish length is greater than or equal to 14 and length less than or equal to 18. And I should point out this earlier, but oftentimes students just want to do it like this, right? Where they don't want to type fish length again, they just say greater than or equal to 15 and less than or equal to 18. That reads well in English, but well, in Java, you do have to type out the name of the variable twice. So we're checking this one against 14 and then that one against 18. The reason is you could have like a second variable like age, and maybe you wanted to check age against 18, right? So you have to say which variable you're checking each time. Okay. So maybe a test score, like in order to get cookies from your mother, you have to score between these. I don't know why you can't score above this, but let's just say your mother wants you to get in the B range here. We want to see if scores between those two. All right, and this one's kind of a tricky one because we got like a repeating decimal. So pause the video and give it your best shot. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to be greater than or equal to 80. Okay, and I do this score less than 90. So instead of worrying about like all these crazy decimal places, this is basically a number that's less than 90. Right? We can't be equal to 90, but just go less than it, and that'll include all the crazy 89.999 decimals or whatever. Okay, so that's kind of a handy trick that might come up. Okay, so for strings, okay, so we're going to start doing some if checks with strings. And the trick here is when you do primitives, you check equal equal if they're equal. But for string, you're always going to use methods. Okay, so here we're going to use a dot equals method. So I'm going to basically say if our name variable called name1 dot equals, and then I'm going to see does it equal cousins. I can spell it right. Or Rogers. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing. Name1 dot equals again. And I'm not even sure I'm spelling that right. I think that's how you spell it. I spelled it wrong here. Okay, so if it equals cousins or equals Rogers. And again, you don't use equal equal, you use dot equals when you have strings. So remember, string variable types, you're going to use these dot methods. And it has one method to say, does this string equal this other string? So here we want to say, does name1 equal cousins? Okay, and if you want to do not equals, right, they don't actually have a method for it. You just slap an exclamation point in front of it. So I'm going to do if name1 dot equals Paris. Okay, and to do not, I just slap a exclamation in front. So I usually type out the regular statement first and then just put a not in front. So that'll say now is it not equal to Paris. Okay, if I want to be not Paris and not Zeman, it's just going to be this thing twice, essentially. So I'm going to do if, so that's not equal to Paris, and ampersand, and not equal to Zeman. Okay, and then we open and close curly braces as always. All right, with Booleans, okay, so one thing that's kind of different with Booleans, it's kind of neat actually, is most of these you are like checking a variable against something, or this name against this variable here, this string against this string. For Booleans, basically this just has to be a true or false statement in your if. And so for Booleans, a lot of times students will do like if have sword equals true. Okay, so basically if they have the sword, do extra damage or something like that. But have sword by itself is already a true or false statement. So we don't really need to check if it's true. We can just say if have sword. So basically if that thing is true, it's already a true false thing on its own, then run this code. Okay, so you could try this one too. We want to send an angry message if they're not passing math. So again, if you haven't already, pause the video and try this one. But we want to do not passing here. Okay, so I'm going to do not is passing because we want them to not be passing. And we're just going to system out print Your kid is a loser. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. Your kid should study more. How about that? Sounds a little better. Because I do believe that all of you are capable, even if you struggle grade-wise. If you work at it, I feel like most kids will get there. This is where naming your variables really starts to matter, because even this, like if this reads a little bit goofy, if is not is passing. So if we just change this to like passing, then it might even read better. So this would say, hopefully it'd be easy for someone to see this says if we're not passing, then do that. Okay, so naming your variables meaningful things is definitely a good idea. All right, last one, I want to see if these numbers are in increasing order. We can kind of tell that they're not, but what would be a check to see if they are in increasing order? Okay, so if they were in increasing order, number 1 would have to be less than number 2, and number 2 would have to be less than number 3, be in increasing order. And I guess we would have to think through, like I think it's really good to think through weird cases. So like, would you consider this increasing order? If it went 5, 5, 10, I would probably say yes, right? So basically we should probably say if they're equal, that still counts as increasing order. Okay, so it's always good to think through weird cases. Make sure that your conditional covers all the possibilities of things that could happen. Right, like another one would be negative numbers. You could think, does this work for negative numbers? And I think it should still hold for negative numbers. Okay, that's it. So hopefully you got this file filled out with me. Hopefully you thought through some of these on your own. But these are called multiple conditionals, where you use like and or and not in your conditionals. And you will definitely be building those on the AP test and as your programs get more complex. That's it. Thanks for watching.